I'm a registered, and I'm kind of in my first solid year of the business because COVID kind of had everything kind of rough for us to start.
Okay, so you've been you had your company up and running. Have you had any clients?
I had clients during part of COVID, but everything was so kind of iffy. People were real picky about who they took and getting COVID tested and getting tests. And so it was just really hard to kind of keep track of that because that was like a whole new thing added to healthcare.
Absolutely. Absolute life care. That was just a whole new thing for everything.
Right.
So yeah, welcome. Who else is new? I think it might be one other person. That's
My name is Tina.
okay.
Flax.
Okay, this
I'm
is
in
Tina. Okay, hey
yeah,
Tina.
I'm in the New Jersey area, South Jersey. I took a course in home health care, and I'm currently a bus driver, but I haven't started anything, but I'm looking forward to trying to get something going.
Awesome, welcome. And you have no connection to the industry?
No.
Okay, yeah, that's so you like me.
hmm
I started out, I was working in a restaurant. So welcome. So if that's it, I think everybody else, I know, I swear I hate her. I can't pronounce her name. But
talking about Batali?
yeah. Batali, yeah. But it sounds so easy, it's just the way it's spelled.
It's okay. Hey, good evening, everybody. My name is Batali. My name is Batali, and I am in hey guys.
Hey.
I'm in South Carolina, and I do have a medical background. I'm actually on a travel assignment right now, working in the OR in Columbia, South Carolina. But I am in the beginning stages. My state is a regulated state, so I kind of like had to apply with DHAC so I can get certified with them. So I did go ahead and call them today to make sure that they got my application. So they confirmed that they got it. And I got my office. I got my keys to my office today. So I'm excited with that. So I'm basically still in the beginning stages, just working on my marketing material and all of that stuff. But I'm in South Carolina, so hey y'all.
Batali, that's it. I'm gonna write that on the back of my hand. So great. And I know Lynette, she probably introduced herself before, but this is, if she wants to hop on, that's okay. If not, that's okay. We can get started.
I'm here.
Hey Lynette.
Hey Lynette.
Hi, how's everybody doing?
Good. So this will be the first official week for some of the new people, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. Let me see if I can get this screen to work. And month one, well, basically not month one, week one, we just gonna discuss like basic business establishment. And I know quite a few people are beyond this, but obviously we just heard that there's a few people, well, at least the one sister who just getting started, who's at the very beginning stages. So but I mean, we can all learn, and even I learn as I talk and I share with you guys and hear feedback and hear myself say some of this stuff is reinforcement. So it's all good. So the first week, usually how I like to set these meetings up, welcome each other in, meet and greet if there's anyone new, share your story, get a business status report, like how your business going. And then we get into the training, Q&A, you get your weekly assignment. And it's like, so this is the first week. The next week it'll be an accountability session, accountability session. Just kind of see how, based on what you said you were going to do this week, because I'm gonna make some time that I want to get everybody's goals for next week, and then so we can kind of double back when we get to next week and say, how did you make out? And the quality assurance, just kind of telling me if y'all have any feedback or hey, you need to do it like this or do it like that, anything like that, just let me know. and then make sure everybody's logged into the private Facebook group. So let's get into the basic business establishment stuff. But for me, I do like to cover the 12 areas of balance. So this is kind of before you get into before I get into like the business stuff. This is kind of like my personal stuff. I can hear my dog barking. I hope y'all can't. But so like the 12 areas of balance, the daily GPS, and then we'll get into like entity formation and business plan creation. What's the 12 areas of balance? This is kind of personal. You know, I don't know how I feel about, sometimes I feel weird about it because some people, you know, they be like, I didn't come in for that. But for me, I feel like it's very important to like look at these things. And I like to look at them definitely in the beginning of the year, kind of ask myself these questions. Look at the questions that I answered last year and how I looked at it last year. A friend of mine had wrote this out, the 12 areas of balance, because we just have all these conversations about lifestyle design and like controlling our own destiny, like not, you know, just taking the entrepreneur thing to the next level. Like we're going to design our life in a way that we want it to look exactly the way we want it to look. And he had wrote up this thing called the 12 areas of balance. So the first thing we kind of focused on was like health and fitness. Like, what do you want your body and health to look like? You know what I mean? I know it's a simple question. Everybody might say, you obviously I want to be healthy. Obviously I want to look like this or look like that. But what does that really look like for you? Obviously for men and for women, it's different. So, you know, just writing this thing out, and I'm not saying write this out and send me the answers. This is not that at all. This is personal. So let me just say that off top before y'all be, you know, sending me all those questions. This is for you and like for your own personal growth and development. If you want to share it with your friends and family partner, that's fine, but that's not part of the course. This is just kind of giving you an idea of some things to think about when you go into business. So I feel like when you're getting into business, it's very important to like have an idea of what you're doing it for and what's your why and have like a vision of what you're going towards. And I know a lot of people are like interested in them like vision boards and all that. I mean, if that's your thing, that's your thing. But I mean, images and just on the wall, that don't really do nothing for me because I get enough of that on my phone and my TV and all that. If I want to watch images of high life, I just watch rap videos. But when I actually write things down, like for me, when I write things down, because I'm like I write a lot. I like journal a lot. I take a lot of notes. So when I write things down, I go back and look at them. It really helps me, and it really helps me with like the you know, getting things out of my head and kind of helps with my stress and anxiety. Because if I'm dealing with an issue, if I'm having some anxiety or some stress or a problem, if I write it out, look at it, and then start dealing with the solution, it kind of works itself out better that way for me. So that's why when I, you know, when we talk about like the 12 areas of balance and some of these questions, like intellectual life, how many books do you want to read every month or yearly? How do you want to grow yourself professionally? These are like things I would actually write out. Emotional life. How would you ideally deal with stress and anger? I just told you, you know what I mean? Like I write, you know, meditate. I got a therapist, you know what I mean? I need a whole team to deal with some of the stuff, you know, at certain points. How do you maintain happiness in the now? You know what I mean? So these are just some of the things like, okay, what makes me happy? You know, like right now, I'm happy doing what I do. You know, this for me, helping people, giving back, and learning as I do it is really, really good for me. That's part of my emotional life. So that's why I include these kind of things in my routine. So like your character, what are your values? What do you believe in? What type of person do you want to be? Your spiritual life, how often do you meditate? How often do you go to church? Things like that. So hopefully I'm not, you know, I mean, getting too personal, but I'm just kind of sharing some things that work for me. And then love life. Who do you want to wake up? Who do you want to wake up with every morning? What does that relationship look like? I have children, so there's a parenting vision. How many kids do you want to create? What kind of parent do you want to be? What values do you want to teach your children? This is probably one of the easier ones for me because I'm very clear about it. I'm very excited about parenting. I love being a father. I'm very active in my children's lives. They probably say I'm a little bit too active and a little bit too involved, but I'm just really a really excited parent. And I write that stuff down. It's not just, thoughts. And, I went to parenting classes. I read books on parenting. These aren't just me saying, oh, I'm excited about parenting. No, I really, invested in the idea of being a father, like invested in the idea of breaking some of the, the toxic things that I had to deal with in my childhood and making sure that they don't. You know what I mean? It's not less like me just saying it, like there've been like tangible investment. So and it's just all coming from like, creating this vision for myself and how I actually want my life to look. Your social life, who are your friends? How do you guys support each other? Your financial life, how much cash do you have in the bank? What are your financial goals for the next 5 to 10 years? Saving, retirement, business investments. You know what I mean? These are things that you want to write down. I always ask, like when I talk to friends or, people who, just in casuals, they're like, oh, I'm trying to do this, I want that. I'm like, what's your number? What's your monthly number? What you think your monthly number is? Like, if you don't know your monthly number is, you don't have no goal. You know what I mean? Like, what's the house? Where is the house at that what neighborhood you want to live in? Which one of the houses in that neighborhood do you want to buy or that you would be happy living in? How much is the mortgage on that house? So like these are the type of questions that you want to ask yourself. You know what I mean? These are the type of things that you, oh, excuse me, I got a call. These are the type of things that you want to consistently ask yourself and you want to outline when you start making these actual plans for your life. You don't want to just guess this stuff or just say, oh, I want to live in this neighborhood or I want to be in that neighborhood. Like get real detailed. Like proximity, the power in proximity is everything. Like the neighborhood that I live in, no, I'm not playing no games. When I would say in 2008, 2007, before my kids were even born, this isn't the only neighborhood, but this is one of the neighborhoods I used to drive through when I lived in like a very unsafe community, but it was just me and my then, she was my wife. She was my girlfriend at that point, but then became my wife, then, my children's mom. But this is one of the neighborhoods I used to come through because it was on the water. And it was just one of the neighborhoods I really wanted to live in. So I know the power in proximity. I know what it means to put yourself in these realities that you want to really be in. I know the power in it. And then I was reading Michelle Obama's book and Becoming. I haven't read her second one, but I bought it because Becoming was so good. It was just so long, but but it was still good. But she had said her dad, her dad was like really sickly. He worked at like the on the trains or something, like in the factory, but I think it was on the trains, and he couldn't really do much for them. He was like, he could barely walk, but he made sure every Saturday or Sunday he took them to like the nicer part of Chicago, and they saw how other people's. I know y'all can hear that. That's the dude down there working. They saw how other people were living. They went to the libraries in those communities instead of the communities they were used to, not because they didn't like their community, but just so they can, see that the quality of life can be better. So yeah, your career, what do you do? What do you want to create, build, grow? What's your next blog or book you want to produce? We was into like blogging and creating. That's like some of these older questions, but this is what we was into. The quality of life. So here we go. What would your house look like? How often can you take paradise vacations? Your life's vision. On the day you die, what do you want people to say about you? What mark do you want to leave on this world? And let me say again about these questions. These aren't questions of like what it looks like now. It's like, what do you want it to look like? This is a vision. So you right now, when they say what would your house look like? You explain it. Like, I want it in this neighborhood, this zip code, this school district, You know what I mean? It's going to probably cost me $3,000 a month. You know, this is, you know, and I got to figure out how to make $3,000 a month and afford everything. You know what I mean? This type of car I want to drive, it's going to cost me $1,000 a month, or I'm going to pay cash for it, 50,000 or 30,000, however you feel about how important cars are to you, you know, stuff like that. So, so yeah, this is the 12 areas of balance. Hopefully that wasn't too weird. We're not going to do too much of that throughout the training. I just wanted to get that off because that is important to me. And I want people to understand that writing down, you know, and setting goals really works. I'm a testimony to that, and I do it every day, and I continue to do it, and I see the power in it, and I push everybody that I teach and coach, and my family and my friends to do the same. So that's it. Another thing that I do, I don't do it much on paper no more, but this is how I started. It was the 2-page productivity planner. So what we're talking about now is just how to manage your day and be productive. Going from, you know, doing your vision, now we're going to get into like just daily productivity. So this is a sheet. You can find it in the Business in the Box. I'm sure everybody on this call got the Business in the Box. It's the 2-page productivity planner. It comes from my mentor, Brenda Bouchard. And he really stressed this early, and this is what led me to create the planner. Actually, these 2 pages, because I just had became a planner, like in like a productivity nut, that I really wanted to, you know, share that with people. So that's how we end up making the home care, the business planner that we have. And so how it really works is you put your top 3 projects at the top. And the power of it is that you're going to do this before you do anything else. That's the key. The key is to do the productivity planner after you do like your morning routine, like after, you know, whatever, you know, in the bathroom and prayer and teeth and brushing and all that. Before you pick your phone up, you pick up your pen and paper and get on your productivity planner. Because once you pick your phone up, you no longer on your agenda. And that's what he always used to stress. He said, once you pick your phone up, now you on Alan Cheney's agenda, because Alan Cheney got 3 emails in there waiting for you. Or whoever, you know, your family got a text message, or your child got something going on, or whatever it is, you have been sucked into somebody else's agenda. And from that point in the day, you just basically just reacting instead of being proactive. And the first thing you want to do as an entrepreneur is learn to like regain the proactivity in your life, like to be proactive and to put your agenda first. And how does this productivity planner work? You put your initial project there, like project 1. It might be call the Department of Health. Project 2, you know, contact, reach out to my web designer. Project 3, call the insurance company about checking on some. I'm just giving examples of things that you might have to do in your business. And then, you know, this is what we're talking about, your business. So project 1, 5 big things I must do to move this project forward. And you write down, you know, 5 things that, you know, you need to do to, you know, move that project forward. 5 things you need to move to second, third. And then you go down to the people. And if you don't have 5, obviously, if it's just 2 or 3, just write in what you have. But the major things that you must do to move these projects forward. Again, this is before you check email. This is before you get sucked into social media. This is before you get sucked into the news. This is before all of that. So you're starting your day off on your own agenda. People I need to reach out to today. List the people that you have to reach out to today, no matter what. It might be 1, 2, or 3 people I'm waiting on. List the people who you need something from to move forward. So these people that you probably need to follow up with, or you waiting for something to get back. Maybe like I said, your website design guy, your logo person, or whoever. You write this stuff down. And then on page 2, you got your priorities. The main things I must complete today, no matter what. List of priorities and to-dos that must be accomplished today, and do these before getting trapped in your inbox and other people's agenda. And that's it. Hold on, I got a chat. I don't want to miss. Thanks for the plan. I'm actually using it. Oh, okay, she got it. That's funny. So yeah, that's the productivity plan. It is. Can everybody hear me? And is this making sense to you guys? Am I moving too fast? Got a little coffee in me.
No, I
Is it
can hear
helpful?
you. Yes, I'm okay on my end.
Oh, is it helpful?
Yes, very,
Okay. Any
very.
questions?
No, not really, because I
Okay.
find it very helpful to me as an example for this week was very busy and my insurance for the business will be expired next month. So when you come
Okay.
to audits with workers' compensation, general liability, those are I use this project to make sure each day I work on those projects because without them, I'm using client for Medicare. They can put all my client for me if my insurance is not renewed on time. And as of today, I'm already done.
Nice. Nice. Oh, glad the plan is working for you. So yeah, let's keep going. That's exciting for me to hear. This is just, I put the planner in my Evernote, so you could put the planner in your phone. So I just use Evernote to put it in my phone. So you could do the same thing. I just was showing you that I use the app Evernote and I just typed it up in my phone. So let me know guys, let me know if you all everyone on here has already have an LLC or an entity set besides the one lady the one sister who's already. Let me get these names, man. I don't want to say. Tarshell, are you the one that is it just getting started?
I have my LLC already.
Oh, okay, cool. So everybody had an LLC?
Yes, I have.
Yes, I have it.
Okay, cool. So I don't want to, waste nobody's time, but I just want to make sure that everybody understands the what the LLC is really for. Is to protect your personal assets from any kind of liability that may happen in your business and stuff like that. That's the most important thing. And then also there's a lot of tax benefits if you have a LLC that can be, utilized through your with the professional accountant. I'm not gonna get into that because I'm not allowed to give y'all accounting information, not being an accountant. So I would never say anything like do this or do that when it comes to taxes. But there are definitely a lot of benefits, when it comes to taxes when you have an LLC. And then what happened is what eventually if you start making, well, I ain't gonna say when you start making decent money, but at least once you start getting to a place when you can pay yourself, you should ask. So let me just say this: ask your accountant or your tax professional about moving you into an S corp and when it's time for that to happen. And usually, you can add that S corp to your LLC, and then it'll make it easier for your business to pay you. It's just a tax thing, and it makes it a lot better for you on when it comes to taxes and how your business grows. But this is usually happening once your business is growing. And then you want to make sure you have operating agreements in place, especially if you have partners and stuff like that. So everybody understands the LLC, so we don't got to spend too much time on that. I've been dealing with business plans a lot lately because we've been going back and forth with the SBA. We're really close with a couple people to get some actual loans through our through the SBA 7A SBA loan business plan. And so I've been really dealing with business plans a lot. So I feel like it's very important that everyone starts to establish a strong business plan, even just passively. If you're not even looking for money, if you're just sitting around and just don't know what to do about your business, you might just be kind of just thinking about it. You don't got really nothing to do. Work on your business plan. Work on your business plan. See if there's some things you could do. Like work on your executive summary, mission statement. I gotta turn this phone down. mission statement, your service and your company's leadership team, employees, and your location. And you might not have no team, but you could start, creating like a org chart, the little circle thing like we used to do in school. And then you do the bubble, and then down. And then they have apps for that, like Mind Meisters, where you can like mind map these things out and create org charts, organizational charts. I mean, and then you just want to start putting this stuff on paper, and then getting it done, doing it in a professional manner, in a nice, clean way. Company description, detail the problems your business solves. List out the clientele, like who are your clientele now, and who are the people you're targeting, or who are the people that you're interacting with as you're just getting started, or who are the people you're thinking about that's going to need your services. Just write this stuff down. It's like these are just like the beginning steps, the beginning ideas of what goes into a business plan and what's going to go into your actual plan. Market analysis. What do successful competitors do? Why does it work? Can you do it better? And I'm gonna tell you, like in the beginning, I was like a corporate espionage. I was calling all of the other home care services in my area, getting their prices. I was acting like I was a caregiver. I was acting like I was trying to get a job. I was acting like I was had a family that needed care, because I just wanted to know their prices. I wanted to get in a sales funnel. I wanted to see all of their information. I wanted to see, hey, bud, how you looking? Good. I think that it looks like the flow check got stuck. Okay. All right, be safe. All right, you too. Sorry about that. That was the technician leaving. So that's what I used to do. I used to really spend a lot of time paying attention and watching. So what I was saying is, what I'm really excited about was being able to get into their marketing funnels and get into their sales funnel. So what is a sales funnel? Fast. Oh, that's my son. I'm sorry. I thought he was woke. What's a sales funnel? It's like, okay, the first touch, the first time they talk to you, the first time a company talks to you, now you get in a sales funnel, or when you reach out to them, they're gonna put you in a list, and there's some kind of it's gonna be some kind of a follow-up system that you're gonna be put in. So you call, that's the first touch. Then you go to the next touch. Now it's gonna be like, okay, but they got your information. Depending on what happened on that call, is gonna determine how they're gonna follow up with you. You might have just said, hey, look, I got a grandmother looking for services, or I got a dad or somebody who's sick, a loved one who may be needing, maybe 10 to 15, 20 hours a week in care. Can you give me a quote? So then they'll be like, okay, most big companies, they're not gonna give you no quote over the phone. They're gonna try to get a consultation. That's why I learned that you don't give a quote over the phone. You try to get in the house. You don't say talk money over the phone, because you could scare them off before you get an opportunity to give them your whole pitch. You don't want to say, oh, we charge $22 an hour. They're like, okay, bye. You see what I'm saying? Without getting the full picture of what they're going to get for that 22. Say, okay, now we have some information. Maybe we can set up a time to come out and do a consultation. And you're like, no. They might say, no, we don't want to do a consultation. I mean, you might say no, because if you don't want to call, you might say, no, I don't want to do a consultation. They say, okay, well, if you have any more questions, feel free to give us a call back. But that doesn't mean it's the end for them. It might be the end for you, the person who was calling, but it's not the end for them. Their next step is probably gonna send you whatever information they got. They got their phone. They got your phone number because you called them. It's probably on the caller ID. And if they were smart, they would ask for your email and address throughout that conversation. And the only reason why they want that is so they can follow up with you. If they only get their email, they're gonna send you an email. Hey, nice talking to you, and they're gonna send you an email. So this is how I begin to learn how to create these sales funnels and how these marketing campaigns work, because I allowed the big companies to do it to me and I just watched what was happening. Does that make sense to anybody? Do you follow me on this stuff?
That makes sense.
Okay.
I never thought about it that way.
Yes, that happened to me too.
So do you understand like what I mean? So this is like, this is
Mhm.
market analysis. This is how you can, you know, learn what's working in your marketplace. Like the people who you see like out here, it's Bright Star. It's Bright Star. Bright Star is the big home care service in my market. They like they run it. You know what I mean? We just get their leftovers. So I know Bright Star sales funnel. I know their system. I know all about them because I've been watching them and following them. And I can't do it at their level, but I could do, it's things that I can do. I can make my prices a little cheaper. I can do things that their clients are complaining about. Like, for example, not having 100 different caregivers coming in on one shift, you know, on one schedule. That they hate that. But you know, families hate that when they don't know who's coming tomorrow and all this stuff. And Bright Star don't care, because they got so many clients and so many caregivers that they just send whoever. If somebody's showing up, just be happy. And so that's a little piece, that's a little niche that, you know, that's a little problem that we can solve. So organization, stable energy structure you can be using, that's just your LLC. Use organizational charts, just like I was saying earlier, like org charts to lay out who's in charge of what. And if, like I said, if you don't have nobody, let's say, you know, I'm gonna have a marketing person, I need an admin, I need an office administrator, I need an office, I need an office manager. If you're doing assisted living, you need an assisted living manager. You need, you know, you need an assisted living alternate. You need a nurse. You need, you know, all these different people. So let's plan it out. You know, write it out even before it happens, because it's not real until you write it down. And it'll never become real until it's in the physical world. And I know that sounds kind of spooky, but you know, you just want it to be in the real world and outside of your head, so it becomes real, especially in the early stages. And then also you creating a business plan, which is necessary for any business, especially if you're going to, you know, start asking for money or investors or applying for like loans and stuff like that. You're gonna need a business plan. So it's just multiple reasons to start working on it. Services. What services do you offer? Explain how it benefits your clients. Your strategy should evolve in marketing. I'm sorry. Marketing, your strategy should evolve and change to fit your unique needs. Marketing is probably like my favorite thing. So I spend like the most time thinking about it. So that's always something that I'm thinking about, and something that I'm always kind of trying to evolve. Like one thing I'm doing locally, and you know, I'll share this here, is like I'm just really going in 2023. I'm really going deep into the church. You know what I mean? I see a lot of people. It's just like your traditional referral sources. You know what they are. We talk about them all the time. Your nursing homes, assisted livings, rehab, hospitals, all these places, they're saturated. You know what I mean? They're saturated. And I said, you know what? There's a few places that aren't. And I feel like, you know, these, if we're coming, you know, we're coming with, you know, I just wanted to be clear that I wasn't coming to these, you know, these religious environments with bad intentions. And I know we're not, you know, we're not coming to rip anybody off. We have the lowest rates in town always. That's always been our thing. High quality care, you know, at affordable rates. You know, at the most affordable we can make them and still and be sustainable. We always vet our caregivers, so we always have the best caregivers that we can have. You know, we make sure we do our best with that. So we cross our T's and dot our I's, and I just have to feel that way before I start, you know, making church is like part of my marketing plan, and that's just my own personal, things I gotta deal with for I can go to sleep at night. So, but I'm sharing that with you guys. I haven't told anybody that that's what I've been doing this year, like kind of focusing on, like, going into, and you'll be so surprised how many churches it is in a county. Like, it's a lot of churches. And I was like, damn, it's a lot of churches. But it's not your typical, you're not just walking in there like you're walking in any other place. And I'm not walking in there like I'm trying to pretend like I'm trying to be, and we're making sure that we're not trying to manipulate in any kind of way. We're not trying to say that, oh, we're trying to join the church, and on the side, do y'all want to work for? No, we come in and let you know that we are a business. We're looking to expand our business in 2 different ways, and introduce our business to you. And if you feel like it's something that you would be willing to share with, the members or your congregation in any way, form, or fashion that you feel comfortable with, we would like to have that conversation. That's it. You know what I mean? And we've been, my approach before was always just caregivers. Like, I used to only just go there to post on their boards, like their boards for like their job, their message boards, where they stick their little papers in on stuff like that, where, and telling them about job opportunities, because that's where you get your best caregivers from. And that's just from the data. So you always get your best caregivers from, the data says, if you look at the benchmark studies from like Home Care Pulse, it says it's African-American women in their 40s who go to church frequently. That's not me saying it. That's not nobody else saying it. That's not Black women saying it. That's what the numbers are saying. When you survey all the top home care services across the world, across the country, that's what the data comes back at, because they ask them a series of questions, like what to get to this data. It says Black women who 40 and up, who attend church often. That's the best caregivers. Now, I'm not saying they're the only caregivers that's going to work for you and you can only hire them, but if you're trying to get the best caregivers, you want to at least give yourself an opportunity to get them. And I feel like, communicating with churches is an opportunity to get these kind of caregivers. And I haven't been wrong. And that was before. But like I said, I wanted to kind of shift my approach and be a little bit more assertive about service, opposed to just looking for caregivers. Because I never really spoke about service, because again, I felt like that would be like a little too much, going in there asking for client, like I just didn't know how to breach the conversation. I kind of let it happen organically. As we talk about caregivers, oh, I know somebody who needs some care. Oh yeah, you see what I'm saying? That kind of thing, opposed to going in and, hey, with brochures and stuff like that, how we doing now? And then presenting different opportunities for us to add value through like seminars and, different material to help the elderly, not just coming there to take, but to add value to the actual religious organization. So that's like something that I'm doing in marketing and that I'm thinking about. Funding. Your goal is to clearly explain how much funding you'll need over the next 5 years and what you use it for. And this is where, if you're not planning on getting no money right now, like going to, if you don't feel like you're prepared, as far as like your credit or, people who may co-sign, or your business haven't been established long enough, or you don't have the collateral, maybe it's not time for you to start asking for funding right now. But that doesn't mean you can't start working on, the documentation to explain it and writing it out so you can be better when it is time. And then they have, as we go over to the other side of the screen, the lean startup plan. This is some new stuff, kind of out of Silicon Valley, like the tech companies use, and they kind of like walk around with these in their pocket. Where this traditional business plan is like, it's more like it's a bigger document. But this lean startup plan, it's like just something, again, like something. It's almost like a business resume. Key partnerships. Note the other businesses or service you'll work with to run your business, referral partners and stuff like that. List the ways your business will gain a competitive advantage. Key resources. Your most important assets can include your staff, capital, intellectual property, leverage business resources that might be available to women, veterans, that, you know what I mean, like minority grants and stuff like that, or different, you know, you have like, a lot of people don't know that through the SBA, you can get all kind of help through these incubators and these business accelerators, because we are Black, or we are women, or we are veterans, or we are Native. Like, you have different opportunities, but you have to go out there and go, you know, inquire about them, and, you know, search the internet for them. So that's kind of like some of the resources they're talking about. Value proposition, make a clear and compelling statement about the unique value your company brings to the market. Like I said, we like to bring the highest quality care at the most affordable rates in the communities that need the care the most. That's the senior population. That would be like a quick value proposition for me. Customer relationships, in person or online. Think through the customer experience from start to finish. So obviously ours would probably start most of the time is on the phone, or could come through online, depending on how your websites and stuff like that are set up. But most of our customer relationships start online, and you just want to outline how that usually works. We usually start with a phone call. They usually call in through some of our marketing, whether it's online, like a Facebook ad, a Google ad, or a sign they see on the road, because I still use bandit signs, or, you know, obviously a referral source might call us, and, you know, and that's another thing you could put in there: customer relationships, referral sources, people that you have in different positions. Like, I know the one sister says she has a very strong relationship with a social worker who constantly feeds her company. So that's something that will go there. Customer segments. Be specific when you name your target market. Your business won't be for everybody, so it's important to have a clear sense of whom your business will serve. So what we think about is this: when I hear like people like in the groups, and, you know, as I get calls, I take a lot of calls. You know, I try to take like 10 calls if I can, maybe 5 on busy days, you know, from just coaching people. And they say, yeah, I want to do transportation, I want to do kids, I want to do seniors, but all in home care. And it's like, you know, I want to do this, I want to even have a little side cleaning business with it. And then the sister did say a good idea about a cleaning business, but I just hear all these different things, and it's like, you gotta focus. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna do something, you gotta really focus, and you can't be good. You can't provide high level service to everybody. You can't be a great senior care company focused on dementia, Parkinson's, diabetic needs, diet, you know, physical therapy, just understanding the things that seniors need, and at the same time be great at infant care. You know what I mean? Because that's just a whole different genre. It's just a whole different, like he said, customer segment. So you got to pick one, I feel. And even though we do have those things on our website, I'm just not, you know, that's not the first thing I'm saying. We're talking about senior care, and most of our marketing, when you come in, you're going to ask for senior care because that's what you saw out there in the community. Revenue streams. Describe how customers will interact with your business. Is it automated or personal? Is it in person or online? Think through the customer experience from start to scratch, from start to finish. And just, you know, for me, I like to think about the revenue streams, and I try to get people to better understand different ways to, because you know, you hear this thing about people always talk about multiple streams of income. There's so much junk on the internet, man, that just be having like real people like really lost. And it's unfortunate, but I'm okay with multiple streams of income under the same umbrella of what you already do. You know what I mean? So like how we got into assisted living was through home care, from people calling us thinking that our marketing was for, you know, they're like, nah, I don't want nobody to come over here. We trying to get him out of here. You see what I'm saying? Like, we heard that so much. And then I was like, okay, we're going to start referring these people to different assisted living. And they're like, oh, you know, we'll pay you, you know, they was saying, they used to say 100%, and I didn't really know what that meant. That meant 100% of the first month's rent. And I was like, what? $3,000? $4,000? You're gonna give me $4,000 for just telling this person who called me to come to your facility. And if he move in, you're gonna give me $4,000 or $5,000. No, it was over with. So that's where it first started. That was the referral business. And I didn't talk about it much because I was just like, you know, it was my thing, and you know, everything ain't for the internet all the time. And I just did it, and we just, you know, used that as a leverage, you know what I mean, as an extra stream of income early in our home care business, because we were just doing so great marketing. We were just in the community so much that people were calling our number for everything home care or senior care related. We were positioning ourselves as local home care experts. And that's what you want to do. You want to position yourself in your community. You can't be you can't be in a broad community like in 50 counties as an expert, but you can be in one town. You could be the #1 person that everybody go to for all their senior care questions. And that's how you want to start. And that's what we did. And that began to create a momentum of everybody just calling. At that point, it was my ex-wife, because she was just so good at what she did. She just really was passionate about it. And that's how I got to this point. So I'm always, you know, remind people that it all started with her. But that's what created those extra revenue streams. It wasn't like we was going to look for them, but they just kind of presented themselves. And then from that point, we like, man, we got to get a house. You know what I'm saying? And our first house, we wasn't thinking about living in it. You know what I mean? Because we had already figured out, like, sheesh, if we can get we can get a house on a SBA loan, man, we moving some seniors in there. Why would we live in there? We gonna be just taking up space. You know what I mean? We can keep living in an apartment and put some, you know what I mean? So that's kind of how the thing started. So then you're talking about 2, now we got 3 revenue streams. So that's what I'm saying. Then coaching, 4, you know what I mean? So then that's how the revenue streams make sense for me. So like sometimes I hear in like it's on the internet, this person, I got a home care service, now they fixed credit, and now they got some tea that they selling for weight loss, and now I'm like, dude, you're not gonna do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because you just spread too thin. It's only 24 hours in a day. We already looked at the productivity planner. You can't put all that stuff on a planner and get any of it done at a high level. Something gonna slack. Your tea gonna slack, your credit repair business gonna slack, or your home care business gonna slack. And your family gonna slack, and your kids gonna suffer. And if you got a full-time job, you're probably gonna get fired. So it's like, you got to think about some of the stuff you be hearing on the internet and the decision you making. And I know I'm kind of going deep on that revenue stream, but it is something I hear a lot. And I did have a conversation with somebody last night. It was a young lady. She said, I'm just working on 7. I just need my 7 lines of revenue. I was like, what are you talking about? And that's how I'm kind of still kind of on that. So let me move on. Is there any questions about business plan creation from this point? Hello? I feel like I'm talking to myself tonight.
No, I'm good.
No,
questions.
we're listening.
Okay. Okay.
No, we're listening. I'm intrigued because I live in South Carolina, and there's not that many people of color who are into assisted living and adult daycare. So all of this is very much new to me. Because everything over here is just very, very limited opportunities for people of color. So I'm intrigued. I'm listening.
Okay. Good. So let me say this. The color thing. My ex-wife is chocolate, a dark skin. And she be the only sister in there with a whole bunch of white women talking her stuff. And I didn't feel comfortable. She did. And I guess that the confidence came from the competence. The competence. Her confidence came from her knowing what she was talking about. And I feel like that's what happens in our community, that we lose this, we get this, we put these, and not, no, and don't get me wrong. I know what you say when you say you in South Carolina, and I know what you dealing with. So I'm very, very much aware of what you're saying. But what I'm saying is there are other things that happen as well that can hold us back in those same situations. And one thing is one thing, and some other things is something totally different, like direct, blatant, racism and just disrespect, or just or even just like that subtle racism where you don't get the eye contact, you don't feel like I get it. But what I'm saying is, like, there are other times where we might perceive that we in that situation just because we're the only person. And it just takes your own comfort and your own navigation through these different situations to get comfortable and to work through these issues. Because I feel like no matter what, it's a workaround. No matter what, it's a workaround. And you just have to find a workaround. It's your job as an entrepreneur to work around those situations and figure it out, and then you get the benefit. You ultimately get the benefit from that. So that's what I'm gonna say about that. And also I'm gonna say, I probably shouldn't say, but there's a thing called white man in the suit. And we talk about it all the time. We talk about it all the time at the lounge, where sometimes companies have to put a white man in a suit in certain scenarios. So to hire a white girl or a white administrator or a white salesperson or a white community liaison might not go against you. It might not be a bad idea. And I mean, this is an extreme solution to that problem, but even in the—
But you know what's so funny, Mr. Allen?
Hmm?
You know what's so funny? I come from South Africa. So due to apartheid, my country is like the total opposite.
What do you mean? It's the opposite.
Well,
no, let's not do that. We can have a conversation.
Yeah. So it's very interesting, but you're right. As an entrepreneur, we have to find a way to go ahead and break those barriers.
Yes, correct.
Like I said, because I'm in South Carolina, so I feel like a lot of stuff is very limited. Like the regular African American, would own a barber shop, a hair salon, a restaurant, a nightclub. That's what we're used to. That's the common thing that we're seeing.
Yeah,
and it's very interesting how now we're trying to go ahead and break the barriers, which is awesome. And that's kind of like what I love about this group, because we have so many different people from different states, and it kind of like opens up my mind to see what other great things people of color are doing in other states. So it's nice.
Great. So yeah, so it's like I said, at the end of the day, we just got to figure out workarounds. We get entrepreneurs get paid for solving complicated problems. That's why we get the big bucks, so they say, so they think, right? But but yeah, that's what it is. And I don't, this is some of the services you could think about. I don't know exactly why this slide is here, but some of the services that we offer, and like companion care, lighthouse cleaning, laundry, personal care, home basics, Alzheimer's nurturing, medication management. Oh, I think this was part of the business plan. I'm sorry, that's what it was. I'm like, why is this here? This was part of the business plan slides. Marketing. So remember we were talking about the marketing, hospital discharge planners, home health agencies, hospice, skilled nursing facilities. These are like your typical, referral sources, the places where you want to go. approach. We generally want to create long-term value add relationship with each referral source using personal, consistent, and proactive systems to help them consistently. Is that what you say? Consistently. Staff meet and greets, facility visits, events, dining presentations, game shows, music, comedy, plays, services, dog visits, grooming. So it's like when you hear those things, it's like these are some of the things that you could bring to the facilities, things that you could be known for. And that's always something that I like to remind people, that you could think outside of the box. If you're into like if you have like pets and you like, you know, you want to bring, like, it's a big thing. I always see it. Like people bring dogs to different things, to different facilities. And they just really, you know, they have really trained dogs and they organize it with different organizations. And you don't necessarily have to pay for anything. It's just a matter of logistics, like organizing. So like you might have a local band or music group, or the Girl Scouts or the Boy Scouts. They might want to come do an event at a specific facility that you're courting, you know, that you're trying to, you know, develop a relationship with. Hey, look, I have these Girl Scouts who are doing a project and they would love to bring it to this facility. And guess what? You're the person that did it. So you get the credit. You begin to build these relationships by just coordinating these different events. You know, it might be a local comedian or a local musician or a school band or something. Seniors just sitting there. People just don't realize they just sitting there. They be bored. So it's like, why don't you, you know, have something, if you have like a weekend and you can start making some phone calls, or you get an idea, you know, spend some time thinking about different things that you could bring to a facility under your brand, but not in a way that you're trying to sell anything. This is a value add opportunity for you to just say, hey, look, such and such home care service put on this show, or such and such home care service brought the Girl Scouts in, and they had a wonderful day with the seniors. You know what I mean? I know it's a little difficult now with COVID, but you know, you can start thinking like this. And there's nothing stopping you from putting it together. And it usually doesn't take any money, very little money, if any. Now, if you go in there trying to cook for everybody, or you trying to buy everybody dinner, or you try to bring everybody gifts like everybody else say, oh, bring them a gift bag and all that, man, that stuff, you're gonna go broke. Giving people, they're gonna take it, but that don't mean they're gonna see, you know, clients. But so you start to build relationships, you create opportunities that you could spend more time in these facilities. And you again, COVID created some, you know, kind of stopped some of this stuff. But COVID, you know, other than what we're seeing recently, it's been, you know, we've been able to move around a lot more, at least in my community. So let's get into like community liaison. This would be the person who would, you know, who would be charged with these type of approaches. This is the person who does that. This is the person who you train to get these type of opportunities going on in different facilities. This was my strongest person before COVID. This is what the community liaison was, the person who fed my family, because they build the relationships and the referrals keep coming. You know what I mean? So as long as I had an idea and I was able to communicate that to them, and they were able to go out to the marketplace and get it done, we were having, you know, good relationships with referral sources. But like I said, the COVID stuff really, it stopped like the new stuff, but we already had stuff in place. We already had clients. So we were able to kind of, you know, when we couldn't send them in the community, people did what they could on the phone. But, you know, when it comes to like, you know, putting educational events on and stuff like that, it was a little difficult, obviously. But the purpose of this job is to communicate, the community liaison. And this is you when you first start. This position is a very, I ain't gonna say very, but it's not a cheap, it's not a caregiver. You're not paying this person the same thing you paying no caregiver, because they out in the marketplace and you want them to represent your company well, and you want to make sure there's incentives like bonuses and commission and stuff like that built into their pay. So the purpose of the job is to communicate, network, build strong relationships, educate, and follow up with referral sources in your marketplace. This role is the most important role in your business on the client recruitment process. I should have said, I meant to put duplicate duplicatable system so that you can train someone to do it in the future. So basically what I'm saying is you want to create a system that they can easily duplicate. Like, this is what we do, and I want you to be able to do it. And then I want you to be able to train somebody else to do it, but just over here. You know what I mean? So they can start to, when they go into these different facilities, they meet these different hospital discharge planners, or they go to these adult daycare facilities or these nursing homes or these rehabilitation facilities, and they, you know, start developing these networks. You want to have a system so everybody not doing the different things, you know, and you have like almost like a manual of like what a community liaison does, their purpose, and the goals and things like that. So very important for your marketing. Targeted direct marketing, personalized phone calls, like, hey, calling people that you know their name and stuff like that. Emails, handwritten letters, birthday cards, holiday cards, small gift cards. You want to thoroughly study your top 10. When I say your top 10, that's like the top 10. You can't focus on 100 different facilities at one time. You want to pick the top 10 facilities in your marketplace. This is just for me, that you feel like you want to really go deep in. You want to go deep, meaning get to know them well, not go wide and get to know a lot of people a little bit. You want to get to know a few people really well. You want to really get to know them and see how you can help them. A lot of times, hospitals and all of these different places, they just want to reduce the return rate. They don't like to see the same people coming through the emergency room, the same family, you know what I mean, coming back to their facility. So usually they want to work with home care agencies, home health care agencies, or assisted living that's going to keep them from keep coming back to the hospital, who they can trust is going to have, very good, high quality care, families that can afford them, people who are consistent. That's who they want to deal with. That's who these referral sources want to work with. So the business is, hold on, it says you want to thoroughly study your top 10, the business itself, the company culture, and the values, and most importantly, the decision makers. So you want to get to know who these companies are. And we just talking still about the business plan. This is stuff that you want to make sure you have in your business plan, or your marketing. So you want to know who they are, know what type of company they are, like whether it's because every facility is not the same. It may seem the same, but they just are different. The people who run them are different. It's a different culture. It's a different temperature when you go in there, as far as like attitude and stuff like that. And you get to pick, like, I don't really like these people. I don't feel like this is my company, and this company is gonna have a good, relationship. So I'm gonna focus on people where I feel like we will have a good relationship. And that's why I talk about most importantly the DMs, the decision makers. You know what I mean? You want to make sure you in relationships. Now, I'm not saying that the people at the front line, the gatekeepers and stuff, they're not important. And then just like people walking the hall, you just being friendly or wherever you are, but the decision makers are the decision makers. So you want to make sure you have a good relationship with the people who matter. You get to know them people, and when you get into opportunities to get in front of them, you be professional, but you also try to be personal. You ask questions about family and kids, and try to find places which you can relate. And you learn this in like different sales techniques and sales training, but that's part of it. That's part of it. So facility sponsorship program. So this is what I was talking about earlier, that the community liaison should be kind of working on: free events, programs, presentation, get creative, become an asset by providing great entertainment services and informational content. So it don't always got to be, having fun. You could put a presentation on, on anything that relates to seniors, like, safety, diet, what to do in the wintertime, what to think about. Some of you can get like the top 25 things to think about, as a senior in the summertime, like not to overheat, and how to, some activities for the inside. And, it's just so many things. I just put stuff. Me personally, I'm a Googler. So I'll just Google, different, presentations for seniors, and I just get all these different ideas, and then we'll just pick a few things out or different informational content that, like there's Parkinson's, there's the majority of the families that deal with, seniors, they either have Alzheimer's or they deal with some sort of Parkinson's and dementia and stuff like that. So you can never get enough of those type of presentations. You can never get enough of those, fall prevention stuff, different, you could bring experts in, dietitians in, Parkinson's experts, people that deal with dementia on an expert level. You could bring them in and create, have them come and provide presentations and stuff like that. So all of these different things are options to you, but you just have to, have the, you have to get out there and put it together. And again, a lot of this stuff doesn't cost any money. It's just coordination. But when it's happening, guess whose flyer is all over the room? Whose cars all over the room? Whose brochures all over the room? It's yours. You're the one that did it. So you get the credit. Even if you're not the one up there talking, you facilitated it. You're the facilitator, and so you benefit. So fund it. Clearly explain how much funding you'll need over the next 5 years. So tonight we're gonna the week, every week we do a required reading, and this week is gonna be the E-Myth, why most businesses don't work and what to do about it. I want everybody to go get this book. I get all my books online, audio. So if that's easier for you, get audible.com, download it and try to listen to it and try to be done with it before next week. It's a very good book. Take notes. Are there any questions? Anybody have anything that they, heard and they want to kind of discuss? Hello?
Yeah, sorry, I had
minute,
to
I'm
unmute.
writing the name.
Yes.
I'm writing the name of the author.
Okay, cool. So there's any questions or anything or any thoughts? We went a little past. It's 7:17, but it's okay.
No, I just I had and I don't know if it's appropriate because I'm a little bit ahead of everybody in the class.
No, go ahead. It's fine.
This week I've been working on my marketing materials, and I kind of like went online because I want to create like a client folder, and I didn't want to use just some basic folder from like Staples. I wanted to use something creative, nice. So I'm having a problem with finding somebody to design it for me. And I wanted to ask you, how has your experience been with your virtual assistants? I haven't been successful in regards to finding somebody on Fiverr to create it for me.
You have?
Wow. I found somebody on Fiverr to do logos. That was very easy. I just haven't been able to find somebody to, and I'm sending it to you right now.
You sending it to, okay.
To design, I'm trying to find someone to design. So I'm just asking, how has your experience been in regards to design? Have you found somebody on Fiverr?
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah, that's on Fiverr. Yeah, let's I'll send you somebody on Fiverr.
Okay.
I'll send you somebody on Fiverr.
Did you see the message that I sent you?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, we can find somebody.
Okay, I'm trying to find somebody who can create something like that for me. Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, definitely. We can definitely find somebody on Fiverr for that. So
thank you.
What is there any? Does anybody else have anything before we hop off of here? I said a lot, man, and I felt like it would be a little bit more feedback, but that's okay.
We were listening.
Okay, cool. All right, well, if everybody's good, then I'll hop off of here. We went a little long. My dog going crazy. I'm gonna get her out the garage, and I'll send you somebody on Fiverr. I'll post it in the group. Huh?
Thank you. Mr. Allen, can one of these days, can we please do some role playing, like with like scenarios? Because I'm nervous as to like what I'm gonna say to people. Like it's different, like today what was very interesting was how you just went through the scenario of not taking a no. You know, an example was like not giving codes over the phone. So it would be kind of like nice if we could go into like just different life scenarios and we see how you would, you know, communicate an answer.
Okay, so how about this?
And-
You write down some questions or some ideas for that, and I'll think about it. And then next week we'll work on it. That at least you'll get what you need. You know, some of the things you've been thinking about, or some, you know what I mean, or some things that you may be
I'm
apprehensive
nervous.
about. All
I
right.
don't know. I'm so nervous. Okay, thank you, sir.
Hey, everybody is. I'll tell you next week. I'll tell you the story of how we pulled up to the first client, the first consultation, and we were so scared we was about to drive off because she didn't want to go in there. I didn't want to go in there. I'm like, I'm just go, And it was just like we sitting in front of these people's house, and we scared to death. And then when we got in there, it was like, man, it's just this nice little old lady. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, why did we build this stuff in our head? We built up this whole, you know, this whole scenario of all these things that could possibly go wrong or how stupid we're gonna look. And it's just these little old ladies wanting some help, just wanting to understand what our services could do for their family. That's all it was. But we'll get into that next week, man. And and we'll deal with some of that fear and stuff like that. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Have a great week.
All right. Have a great
Thank you.
week.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.